Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video, as you can see by the title, is going to be all about potty training. We decided to bite the bullet and start last week. We're currently on day 8 of potty training. I can't believe that I'm saying that because on day 5 I really thought I was going to quit. It's definitely been a very challenging week. I think with all the stages of having a baby or a toddler, there were so many challenges, but we've hit this really nice sweet spot the last year that's just been quite easy. As much as there's been a lot of work and a lot of exhaustion, there's been no real challenges. So jumping into this was definitely putting myself out of my comfort zone again, but I'm glad I did it. I kind of had March in mind for wanting to start it, and we started a little bit early. A couple of my friends have actually done it with their children who are exactly the same age as my boys, and they took to it pretty well, so I felt like it was time. I'll be honest, the boys weren't really showing all of the signs that they say they should before you start, and I know I also have family members that have done potty training when the children are very nearly 3, and it's worked very quickly for them. So I think had I waited a little bit longer, it would have been easier on me, but I just wanted to get it done and I felt like I was ready to do it. Had you asked me 3 days ago, I would have changed my mind about that, but fingers crossed. We're on day 8 and I think things are improving. So I'll probably do another video on this in a couple of weeks time, just to let you know how things have gone, because I have no idea what's going to happen from here. But today's been pretty successful and so was yesterday, and I just feel like we're on to something good. So pray for me. Anyway, today's video, I normally make loads of notes and like script out what I'm going to talk to you about, but I kind of just want to talk to you guys like you're next to me here, because it's so fresh in my memory, and quite frankly I just didn't have time to plan out this video. So yeah, we're just gonna have a nice chit chat. So go grab a coffee or a hot chockey or something cozy, because that's what I need today. It is just disgusting weather here. I don't know if any of you are watching this from LA as well, but we have had the craziest weather. It's been full on raining for the last like 3 or 4 days. We had like torrential rain, really bad wind on, I think it was Friday or Saturday, and there's just been so many trees down, so many accidents. So I hope you're all safe. And where is the sun? Please, I need the sun to come back out. I'm dying for a bit of sunshine in my life. So yeah, if you can hear any noises in the background, it's either the rain or it's my washing machine. So yeah, where to start? So I just want to say before I get into all this that your experience potty training will be so different to mine. I feel like everybody's child is going to react differently, and I went into this thinking that the boys were going to be similar but different. I didn't expect them to be doing the same thing, but they were actually so different. They've always been very similar in everything they've done, all the milestones they've done, but they had shown quite a lot of difference in this first week of potty training. So that was actually very hard to deal with. I think had they have been on the same wavelength with it, it may have made it a little bit easier. But yeah, just to start from the beginning. So my friends used the Oh Crap potty training book, that method, and they thoroughly advise you to read that book if you want to do that method. But I wanted to go into this really chilled and relaxed. I did so much research before the boys were born on just being a twin mum and twin approaches to sleep and feeding and nursing and all this stuff, and it was just so overwhelming. I thought, I just want to do this. I listened to what they said and I took notes and took their advice, and I just thought, you know, I'm going to loosely base it on this, but I'm not going to read the book and I'm not going to stress. Yes, I did come into some mistakes there, and I will admit to those in this video, things that I could have probably done better, and it probably would have been easier for me had I read the book. Now I look back, because you know, I just think the more knowledge you can get, the better. But yeah, I just didn't feel like I had time and I wanted to get going with it, so that's what we did. So yes, I'll just let you know what my friend sent me. She sent me like her notes from reading the potty training book. So with the Oh Crap potty training book, there's like 4 or 5 stages, I think, blocks they call them. Okay, I'm not quite sure, maybe there's just 3. Anyway, she wrote that the day before you're going to start, you let your child know that you're going to throw away all the diapers, the daytime diapers, and they won't be using them during the day. and you say it calm and lovingly, don't make too big a deal, don't start emphasizing using the potty. So just a little note on that. I didn't really do that whole thing about the diapers, but I did like completely not mention the potty to the boys. They'd never seen a potty. They'd seen me and Aled going to the toilet, obviously, but they'd never really asked about it or been interested. So yeah, it was just a whole new concept to them on the day that we started this. They'd never seen the little portable potty that I ended up getting, and it just kind of came out of the blue on that day. So that was that. So it says day 1 to 3, which is block 1. Today, you say to them, today you're going to be a big boy or big girl and put your poo and pee in the potty. I'm going to teach you and help you learn how to do this. Yay, it's going to be fun. No pants all day, slightly extra fluid, look for pee signs, always be near a potty, get as many successful times in potty as possible. Do not ask, do you have to go pee now? Say, come, it's time to pee now, and put them on the potty. If a poop happens on the potty, get to carry it to the big toilet and flush it down as a reward, and say things like, wow, your belly feel must so good after the big poop, or say, you did it, yay, or have her or him say, I did it with each success. Yay, you peed in the potty, yay, you did it. And then for accidents, you need to try and reflect without emotion, which is very, very difficult, but you need to say things like, oh, you peed on the floor, pee goes in the potty, sit on the potty to pee, we'll keep working on it. So, and then obviously at nap time and bedtime, you kind of explain why you're putting the sleep diaper on, because they're still learning. So I didn't actually read through these notes until day 2, because I had talked to my friends about it and I just felt comfortable, and then day 1 happened and I was like, give me all the information you've got. So for that day 1, I totally did everything you're not supposed to do, and I kept asking them if they need to pee, and I was like looking for signs that they needed to pee when I didn't really understand that they didn't know that yet. So it was very stressful. Things that I bought for this potty training was 1 portable potty, which I'll put a picture of up here, lots of paper towels, Clorox wipes, disinfectant sprays, and that was about it. Pretty minimal, lots of wet wipes, but pretty minimal stuff, just mostly cleaning products and 1 potty. So day 1 rolled around. We had loads of accidents, of course. They were a bit freaked out by the fact that the pee was just coming out. Jack especially was quite confused about it all. Henry, he was like, oh my gosh, it's everywhere. Mummy, pee everywhere. Poop, there's a poop. Like he was telling me. Jack was a little bit more embarrassed. It seemed that he'd done things like that, so it kind of seemed like he knew it was an accident. But what I was mostly shocked by was there was so much holding on to the pee. I was expecting them to go to the toilet like every 15-20 minutes, and it was like hours went by, and it was quite exhausting. Like I felt like all day I was on high alert, like waiting for them to go, and it would sometimes be like 1 to 2 hours. So another thing we experienced on day 1 was Jack just would not sit on the potty. He didn't like the look of it, hated it, didn't understand. Henry didn't care so much, but I was struggling to get him to sit there for long periods of time. In the book, it does reference that you put them on the potties every half an hour, I think. I might be wrong, don't quote me, because as I said, I didn't read it, and I don't think she wrote that on there, but I know you're supposed to keep putting them on there every half an hour, every hour at the beginning to get them comfortable and used to it. But I just, honestly guys, I couldn't even go down that route. What I decided to do was just to let them have the accidents and then direct them to the potty and go from there. So the first time that Jack had a pee on the floor, I completely overreacted, and this is one thing that I will say, like, please try not to do, and that was my first biggest mistake. I was so pleased that he was peeing that I just grabbed him and was like, sit on the potty, and it completely freaked him out, and I'm sure that's what made him hate it in the beginning. So yeah, I think if I was to go back, I'd just be like, oh my gosh, you're peeing, pee goes in here, and then maybe after he'd been, try and get him to sit, just to kind of get his understanding in that, or warm them up to it before. But I really don't know if I was to go back now how I'd get them comfortable with it anyway. That was one of our biggest struggles. So I think it was on day 1 I tried, and I wasn't going to do any of these sort of rewards like situations, but I was just head first into this, not knowing what to do, and I felt like I was sinking. So we tried chocolate chips because they love chocolate chips, but it escalated and they just wanted more and more, and then the other one wanted them, and then they were fighting about the chocolate chips, and it was just like all such a big drama. So that didn't work, and I was like, right, we're not going to do that. And then I tried just sitting with them and like singing and stuff, but the problem was I'd only bought one potty, and that was making the other one jealous. So that was my second mistake. I soon realized, I think on day 2, I realized like this is not working, we need another potty. So please, I don't know if anyone else is as stupid as me, but do not buy one potty if you have twins. You need 2. So we ordered another one, and that was great. Amazon delivered it the next day, so we had that. But that was my second big mistake. So the rewards weren't working. I think actually I ordered stickers as well on Amazon that first night to try the following day, but that was sort of a similar situation. One sticker wasn't enough, they wanted more, and then we were having a big drama about the stickers, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just not into this. So we did end up using screen time, and what I did was I would play them a video on my phone, and I'd sit with them, and we'd watch like short little clips on YouTube. I think we mostly went with like the Brown Bear song or the Very Hungry Caterpillar, and they would sit and watch that, and then I'd try and distract them and start reading to them or doing some other activity while they were sitting on the potty, and that has really worked for us. Now they will sit there without a problem, and sometimes we read, sometimes we watch something, but just to, when I think they need to go and they're holding it, I'll try and put them on there and just distract them with that. So yeah, where are we? Day 1 ended, and we were, I didn't feel too bad. It was day 1, we'd had accidents, but obviously we were going to have a lot of accidents. So day 2 rolls around, and I was so motivated to get Jack to be happy to sit on the potty. So we still only had 1 potty at this point, but I decided, and I was very nervous because I thought this could really backfire, it's going to go one of both ways, but I just forced him on there a few times. I just forced him with, like, he was just so angry, but it worked, thank God. I forced him on there, and then eventually he sat on the potty, and I think that day we got 3 peas on the potty. And when he saw me and Alid like jumping for joy and making a big fuss, we would literally, the rewards ended up being us dancing and singing and jumping around. And then Jack would tell Henry, Henry, look, and then we'd get them to take it to the toilet and flush it away. And that's kind of what's worked for us, and we're continuing with that. So I was very pleased with 3 peas on the potty. I don't think Henry had any again that day, but he would sit for long periods of time, which was great. We started to watch some potty training videos on YouTube, which was great. There's a really good Peppa Pig one and a few others, and they're just short, and I just thought that was a nice thing for them to watch during the day when it was just so overwhelming, because let me tell you, they got so tired doing this. I think the mental exhaustion, and me, like with the first 5 days, was just unreal, and I was trying not to let them do anything like that. Like, they used to sit on the sofa and watch TV and do all these cozy things, and I was like, you can't even go on the furniture, you can't watch TV, you need to just be focused on this. And I definitely noticed they were very, very tired. So yeah, day 2, I noticed so many fights over my attention. If I was sitting with one of them on the potty, the other was getting upset that I was engaging with that one. So I was really, really eager for the second potty to come, and yeah, it was just a very hard day. But Jack did poop in the evening on the floor here when I was cooking dinner, and I was really pleased because I managed to respond calmly, and he was okay about it. He wasn't freaked out, so I was very pleased about that. Day 3 rolled around, and we got the second potty. Jack seemed so much happier to sit on it after that whole forceful event on day 2, so that was great. And they were both sitting together now, and they were no longer angry because I could just sit with them and read a book to both of them, or do things and engage with both of them. Even if one of them had already peed, I was like, whatever, just sit here. Henry had his first pee on the potty, and his first poop accident, which was actually behind this chair. So I did start to notice that he wants to go and hide when he's doing that, so we're looking out for that. That was about it for 3 days that I can remember. Day 4 rolled around, and I felt like day 4 was quite a good day. This was my first day alone. I had Alid here available for the first 3 days because I wanted him to help me with the dog, because I didn't want to take the boys out at all. Oh my god, I didn't even mention this method, the Oh Crap potty training method, involves to children to wear no pants. They're completely commando, just from the top down. So we were doing that for all 3 days. Day 4, I was on my own, so we did need to walk the dog. So I think I went out in the morning around 10. I think they'd both already peed, and we put trousers on, no pants, just trousers. Guys, I know you call them pants, that's very confusing. No underwear, just pants. And we did about a 45-minute walk, and there was no accidents, and I was so pleased. So that really encouraged me on day 4. We had 2 pees on the potty in the morning and an accident. Went on the walk. Henry started just peeing and not even telling me. Like at the beginning he was like, oh my gosh, it's everywhere, and now he stopped doing that and was just like peeing. I remember finding pee near the peloton, like, and I didn't even know how long it had been there. Jack started to get upset about sitting on the potty again, and he was really holding in pee. I noticed Jack was just holding and holding and holding, and I kept noticing drips everywhere, so I was trying to encourage him to go, but that was becoming like another problem there. And then day 5 was probably the hardest day. So many tantrums, so many tears. I feel like we had no successes with pees and poops. They were getting very frustrated about being stuck in the house. I think, yes, that was the day that Jack held his pee and his poop. He did not go all day, and I think he hadn't been, this was Friday, and he hadn't been to the toilet since Tuesday night. Like, he hadn't been for a poop since Tuesday night, and so I knew he was desperate to go. And then the pee from the morning diaper, he went at nap time, I think, but he hadn't gone all morning and all afternoon, and then finally went at like 6 p.m. And Henry had accidents and maybe like 1 successful potty attempt, and I really felt defeated by Friday, day 5. I was thinking to quit, to be honest. I was like, I just can't do this anymore. Day 6 rolled around. It was a Saturday. We needed to go out today, all of us. We needed to go and do a grocery shop, so we were planning to do that in the afternoon. Jack actually came up to me in the morning to pee. I could start to notice he was like getting fussy and doing these like whingy sounds when he needed to go. So that was good. I feel like I was starting to see the signs. And it was actually the first time that I caught Henry. He was doing this sort of like funny leg thing, you know, those, they call it like the potty dance, right before nap. And I put him on the potty and he peed. So it was great. I was like, finally, I'm starting to see their signs. They woke up from their nap both dry, so I was really relieved about that. And then we ended up going out. We went to Trader Joe's and we managed an hour out, and no one peed. We had no accidents. I was so pleased. And then we came home and I had so much to do with all the unloading of the shopping and the cooking, the dinner. We had a million accidents. I think we had 2 pees and 1 poop down in the playroom because I was just completely, you know, I had things to do. So if I could go back, yeah, I should have spent at least half an hour to 45 minutes once we got home from that, just completely monitoring them. But I was just trying to get my things done, so that was a shame. But I felt way more positive. I felt like we were onto something. So I know I mentioned the notes that my friend gave me, and that block 1 was actually day 1 to 3, but I did not feel ready to advance, so I just kept this block going. Block 2, which actually says day 4 to 14, they encourage you to wear no underwear or bottoms at home, wear loose shorts with no underwear or loose trousers, always be close to a potty, go out for short bouts of time, but bring the travel potty, keep up the routine of sitting each half an hour on the potty, so that's what it was, half an hour. Sometime in here start to incorporate the potty watch, so she is in charge of running to the potty when the alarm goes off. But yeah, I do feel like here it says resistance. Child may start refusing to go sit on the potty, be clear and direct, give her autonomy, say, okay, you don't have to go, I'll trust you to let me know when you have to go, I'll be right here if you need to tell me. Say, I can see you are busy playing, let's bring your toys to the potty with us, can you show your toys how you use the potty? So I kind of feel like we've had some of that resistance with sitting, so maybe we are kind of in that block 2, but I'm not quite ready to sort of move on to all those things yet. But yeah, we're on day 8. So day 7 was the best day we've had so far, yesterday. I think we only had 1 pee and 1 poop accident, and the rest was on the potty. And we even went out to the park and went and played in the playground. We took the travel potty with us, and I really feel like we turned a corner. I can start to see their signs, and they're not so angry about sitting on the potty anymore. So yeah, that's really how it's been going. It's been a whirlwind. I have no idea. Tomorrow I'm actually going to go to a friend's. So we're going to go out for the first time for like a longer bout of time. Obviously they're going to wear pants but no underwear. And yeah, we'll just see. I know that they're gonna have a lot of accidents, I'm well aware of that, but I need to get over the fear of that. I feel like I am a little bit restricted about that happening. So it'll be good for me to go out and let them experience that. And I think if they experience it, it might make them more aware. They won't like that feeling if it's in their pants rather than just going on the floor like it is at home. So yeah, that's been our first week of potty training. It's been wild, but I'd love to chat to you all about this if you're currently doing it or you're about to start it and you want any tips from me, from my experience. I'm sure you're all probably more knowledgeable than me because I didn't even read anything, but I'm actually really glad for once I've just gone with the flow and just done something like this, because I'm always such a planner and I sometimes feel like I'm so hard on myself if I don't stick to all these rules and routines. So it's been nice just to sort of go with the flow and not pressure myself to do everything exactly. But yeah, after the block 2, you move on to block 3, where you start to leave the home for longer periods of time and wear the training underwear. So I'm very excited for that. And one other thing that I'm really pleased with is that they're not getting any anxiety yet, especially about the pooping, because I know that is a very common thing and I just didn't want them to be holding the poop in for days on end. So I'm really pleased that they're continuing to go, even if it is on the floor, rather than holding it in. So yeah, what can I say? Any other tips? Just definitely get 2 potties, and yeah, just don't be worried about going out in public. Like, I'm going to take the potties out because the boys don't have a clue about how to stand up and pee, so that is a whole nother thing. I also need to teach them to pull their pants down, so we've got so much to learn here, but we're doing it, we're in the thick of it, and that is life. So it's nice to share my experience. I hope you all enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next week. Bye guys.